Majima finally returns as a playable protagonist in the first ever quintuple A video game, entering his next delusion-maxing era, for some reason becoming a pirate and going on a wild hunt for the One Piece, while also collecting the 7 Dragon Balls for the Captain Beef side quest. Now you gotta know this, I've always been a pirate kinda guy. I turned 4 and chose that as my personality for the next 8 odd years, and that spark still remains, albeit buried deep within. So when RGG came along and said, listen, we're doing a new Yakuza with Majima as the protagonist and also pirates, you damn well know I'd be playing that shit day one. RGG still had the Hawaii map left over from the last game, ripe to be reused, which is why they had to come up with a convoluted reason why Majima would become a pirate sailing the 7 seas, or one of them seas anyway, and working backwards from that spark of genius, Yakuza Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii and Knuckles featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series was born. It was either this or Found Judgment, and well, Judgment may never be found again. Since the last time Majima was the protagonist of a full game, a lot of shit happened, a decent bit of that being Majima's fault as well. It's easy to forget when you're seeing these fellas do shit like this, or this, or this all the time, but they are still hardened criminals. Majima has abducted children, beaten women, almost killed a bunch of guys who didn't really do anything. Also, for about 3 decades now, his weapon of choice has been a knife. And I mean, this guy really does love a good fight. If he hasn't killed a single guy by now, I'd sure be impressed. The point is, you know, he's gotten a bit grey over the years, morally, not like his hair. He actually looks younger than at 20. This man is 60 years old. To circumvent all that, and to circumvent having to relate the game too much to all the stuff he's gotten up to, all the memories of it have been beaten out of Majima's skull, making his memory a tabula rasa, ready to be painted with memories of things like this, or this, or this. Is this canon? This game in particular feels like the developers just really wanted to blow up the side content to a full game. Even the main story feels kinda like something akin to the story of the cabaret or business minigames of old. And I don't even mean that in a bad way, but do I mean it in a good way? I don't know. But it's not like the main story is that important anyway. I was much more invested in the origin story of the Gooner squad, who were cucked by the Oshi and then decided to follow me and help take down the Pirate King. But no matter, playing as Majima is fun. It has always been fun, and dare I say it will always be fun. Except in the Majima saga, he kinda sucked balls there. But getting to do all these stupid ass fun side activities as Majima, now that does put a smile on my face. The Mad Dog has put into many a strange situation in this here game. Majima is the kind of guy that frankly should not be allowed to operate any vehicles whatsoever, as that tends to end in disaster. But this game has decided to do the very opposite of that. Majima is constantly operating vehicles here, which makes sense because he's a pirate captain savvy, but he's also racing in karts, riding around town on a stupid ass Segway, and also making deliveries on bike. At the ripe age of 60, poor Majima has to resort to working minimum wage for Uber Eats to make cash, except OSHA doesn't exist anymore. We shall have the pleasure of discovering the sights of Hawaii for the second time. Well, it's an RGG moment, you know, a lot of Ichiban sloppy seconds minigames. But well, still fun though. Crazy Delivery might still be one of the best minigames ever made, only behind some of the true goats like the Cabaret and the Can Collection. You can also play darts with Nishida. This is where things get real for true Yakuza connoisseurs like I am. He doesn't even know yet that I'm about to pull out the wind darts. Dragon Card makes its first ever appearance in Hawaii. Very sadly, Pocket Circuit Fighter doesn't return here. He's dead, okay? Killed by his bitch wife. But of course Onomichi returns in some form. The annoying ass old lady is here. Zooman is back. Coffee comedian guys are back. This lady is back. This lady is also back. This palm tree is back. Sicko snapping sicko is back. But on the other hand, these weird ass live action cutscenes are new. Though the scope of Pirate Yakuza is a bit more limited compared to the recent mainline Like a Dragon offerings, it still offers an assortment of bizarre side adventures to go on. Now some of these are a bit too similar to things that have been experienced before in these games. Really? A big bear has escaped his enclosure and threatens to wreak havoc upon innocent bystanders? Don't make me laugh. That just happened to me the other week. But there are certainly still some sub-stories that manage to feel novel within the RGG verse, like the one where we hire a guy to help us install safety and health regulations on a pirate ship, or the one where a Sega game has the balls to criticize microtransactions, or the one where we have our balls appraised by Shen the Ball Master, who grants us a wish for presenting our balls. Of course, Majima only wishes for a peaceful life. The best one, or maybe the worst one, I truly cannot say, is the one where we find out that our ship's cook is down bad as hell, which sends us on a 6 sub-story spanning quest to get some bitches on his dick. Our efforts and being utterly fumbled by him and the aforementioned live action sequences. I sat there for like an hour watching this shit, and frankly, I don't think I'll find apt words to really describe it. Just what the fuck? In addition to Hawaii, there's a couple of other locations to visit, though most don't offer much side content outside of the Goro Kingdom, where you feed a dog and a cow in Diddy Kong and then you get out your all-out attack to get a high-quality egg. And this still pales in comparison to the dating simulator aspect of the game where you date your own pet tiger. Yes, this is a real game. The most striking of the other islands offered in Pirate Yakuza is by far Madlantis, a ship graveyard turned pirate entertainment district, where a lot of pirates have a lot of things to say. Over in Madlantis you can play golf, bingo and fucking demolition baseball, for there are no rules and regulations in pirate land, my friend. In general, this game takes a lot of inspiration from elsewhere. The pirate stuff from Black Flag, the Chao Garden from Sonic Adventure, Captain Beefheart and his magic band. The Gourmet King from Persona 3 is a dog in this. They made even Yakuza a farming sim like Stardew Valley, bug catching and fishing from Dondoko, except you do that using your grappling hook exclusively, logically. And also Yagami is in jail now, his dating habits having been made public, which is why his sidecars had to start appearing exclusively in Gaiden games to stay afloat. Something pretty smart this game does is that it locks a bunch of side stuff, mostly drip, crew members and music, behind minigames, incentivizing you to get lost in them. Now would I be playing the baseball minigame or Crazy Delivery if there were no rewards? Obviously, because they're fun as hell. But this little addition has made even the mahjong anti like me get a couple of Ricci or whatever the fuck. 9-gate tile time, bitch. I need to get Yappy-kun on my crew, okay? But now that all that other stuff is out of the way, I shall return to the part of the game which gives it about 15% of its title. Majima has become a pirate. This game is one of the most immersive pirate simulations yet. Just you, the sea, and the turbo rings, and machine guns, and rocket launchers. For some strange reason there's not really many pirate games around, and even fewer good ones. There's Sid Meier's Pirates, Black Flag, Sea of Thieves, that quadruple A drag from Ubisoft, and now the question is obvious. Is this finally the next good pirate game? I mean, yeah, it is a good game, and a pirate game, but the pirate mode is definitely Yakuza, you know. If you wanna play Black Flag, you should just play Black Flag. This ain't that. Feels more like an arcade game, you know, a Yakuza minigame. The ship gameplay in Pirate Yakuza is somewhere between AC Black Flag and the Taxi Drift side game from Yakuza 5. The constraints imbued by having to be period accurate have been obliterated, because pirate society inexplicably is just still thriving in the Pacific. The limiter's off, which is why Majima is drifting and shooting lasers at other ships. This ain't your grandma's pirate game. Well, I say inexplicably, but of course that is explained later. Now I will say the plot twist that Majima actually traveled back in time to the 17th century did catch me by surprise. Also a strange writing decision to hide that in the side content, but it is an explanation. As we engage in the side content of the game, we shall become ever more renowned pirates. Except the pirate rank rises so easily that playing a couple rounds of baseball and saying hello to 2,000 people will quickly make you known as a pirate legend. So indeed, the rank doesn't really mirror reality all too well. I suppose we can, instead, just buy a bunch of lasers for a ship and start shooting people to feel like true pirates. To secure the funds we need to add lasers to a ship and to unlock the gun heat action for Majima, we kill every wanted man in Hawaii. The food delivery side job didn't quite satisfy Majima's appetite for money, but that is the beauty of the gig economy, I suppose. Jumping ship is easy, and killing outlaws is profitable, though the sheer number of them does make Honolulu seem like a rather questionable vacation spot. In addition to these low-life bounties, we will also want to destroy the evil devil flags and our opponents in the Pirate Coliseum. Now of course, to make all that possible we gotta fight. A lot. Even though his memories are missing, years of beating up innocent people have ingrained the Mad Dog style of fighting in his muscle memory, and compared to his last playable appearance, he's actually kinda slick with it this time, incorporating moves from his thug style from Yakuza 0, and incorporating his knife into your abdominal cavity. He can also juggle his opponents and keep pummeling them mid-air, somewhat at least. Look, I've never been quite that good at Yakuza combat. I'm not doing infinite style switching juggle type shit, and I cannot tell you whether you can do that here or not. But the combat here is pretty fun. Compared to the last couple real-time combat Yakuza installments though, Majima is fast. Insanely so. And he hits like a truck as well, which means that if you buy an update or two too many, you will steamroll basically everything the game will throw at you, until you do some of the ship battles in the Coliseum. Jesus Christ. In addition to the Mad Dog style, Majima appropriately spots a pirate fighting style, in which he slices up all manner of landlubbers with his two saws, which he can also use as boomerangs. For his neutral special he wields a gun, and he also has a grapple hook, which means this must be a good ass game. During our pirate adventures, we'd visit treasure islands to gain even more booty, and some of that booty is some of that real high quality juicy booty. Booty so juicy you can play it like an instrument, you know what I'm saying? Like literally, for they are instruments, of the ancient and cursed variety. These ancient treasures will, upon being played in battle, summon the spiritual creatures to turn the tide of battle in your favor. I would once again ask if this is canon. Were I not scared of the answer? To embark on these treasure islands, you put together squads of your most capable and trusted companions. If you're more so the kind of guy to only trust yourself, well, just summon the voices in your head to fight your battles. That is the Majima way, I suppose, winning battles with the power of schizophrenia and friendship. The roster of available crewmates for your ragtag team of pirates is quite astounding, I must add. Most of the characters I mentioned earlier who appear in this game's side content will also join your crew. All the girls at Akiyama Family will join your crew. Ichiban is here for some reason, and yet even though he was here the entire time, he doesn't believe our stories anyway, the dickhead. Another case of amnesia, I suppose. And then there's the characters that have actual plot relevance, with a couple of familiar faces from Majima's past. The goat Nishida is here, and Saejima as well, of course. Though to be honest, Saejima kinda gets sidelined as hell in the story. He literally gets shitted and pissed and cummed on. And him joining the crew is less of an event than Nishitani and the weird guy from Yakuza 3. He just kinda stands there and is like, yeah, I guess I'm a pirate now. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I think Guna 3 joining the crew goes harder than Saejima's entrance does. Once Saejima appears, there's frankly multiple flaws with this game being made apparent. Like, why can't Saejima sing karaoke? Actually, why can't Minami sing karaoke? It's like his whole damn personality. There's one important crew member I haven't talked about yet, who could be seen as one of the most important aspects of the game. Entirely frankly, I am unsure as to how I've managed to talk so much about this game while barely mentioning the centerpiece that holds it all together. Iconic, nay, legendary character, Captain Beef. We witness the fall and rise of Captain Beef, though his first rise is only implied. I'm still eagerly awaiting lore videos on Captain Beef's glorious past, but we do get a nugget of backstory about his relationship with his father, famous pirate Captain Pork. You know, maybe this actually is the best game yet. Captain Beef is my ride or die, my eternal sidekick and first mate. In some ways, the story of this game is the story of Captain Beef. With this many characters, you will have quite the choice in your assembling of the crew. Will you make a cool squad? A Guna squad? Will you yourself be the Guna? Or will you run a damn clown operation and just put all the funny characters in there? The decision is yours to make. On our grand pirate adventures, our goals are twofold. Well, outside of the main story. Kill all foes in the pirate coliseum and kill the devil flags. We're true scum, the worst of the worst. Except for the one guy we actually kill. Holy shit, this girl's canon kill count is already higher than Majima's. Chill, lady. The Colosseum is a Colosseum, alright. The fights here feel kinda dank as fuck half the time, to be right honest with you fellas. It's not the best RGG has ever done with it. But you can fight Amon in here, so that's pretty funny, I guess. The core pirate side content is in the hunt for the dastardly devil flags, who in true RGG fashion all have a goofy gimmick and a stupid ass name. We go on this great adventure because they killed some guy. Can't believe they killed him. I'ma miss you, man. The story is one for the ages for sure. Captain Yakuza is killed by Captain Shinobi. Captain Ronan is killed by us, except he survives to kill Captain Shinobi for killing Captain Yakuza, but then fucking dies for no reason and the girl from our crew is abducted by Captain Zeus, the big bad. We go to rescue her, but the fight was too difficult for me, which is why I abandoned her for the next 10 hours of gameplay while I was finishing up the main story and fucking around playing pool. I hope she didn't mind. No, like really, is this canon? You know, video game fans at large always like to discuss their favorite games. Games they think suck. They like to discuss what even makes a game good. Gameplay, story, atmosphere, breedable Guna bait waifus, level design. Well, when you're boarding a pirate ship to fight their crew and the enemy captain sends out their bear and tiger combo, so you gotta pull out your guitar to summon the ancient cursed monkey, and then Yappy-kun kills the tiger with the chainsaw. That's how you know you're playing a good game.